to your football team with this weather?
They're very similar. They change hourly. That's a pretty good comparison right there, honestly. This weather's changed 8 times over the last 8 hours, and these 18 to 22-year-old kids change somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 time an hour.
How are Karan and Drayvon doing?
Who?
Karan and Drayvon.
Injured guys. Won't talk about Schuler, Pooler, Drayvon, Karan, Smothers, Yodney, Angus. No sense in talking about any of those guys. Those guys don't do anything for our football team. Jacob Butchie-Grossi, unfortunately, tore an ACL yesterday. Feel really bad for him. Coming off the shoulder last year during spring, where he missed all spring football last spring. Had worked himself into our second team center. Looked really good. That's new. Other than that, ain't talking about any of those guys that don't do anything for us right now.
Have you determined anything good as you look forward? I mean, do you see something good? That's better than I thought it would be.
It's all a work in progress. I mean, we know who our players are. I think we got some talented individuals. Just need depth right now during spring. I'm just trying to piece together a lineup that we can practice with. Guys go down, numbers are low. It makes it tough to practice, So what's clear is we need more bodies, which is naturally going to happen. Adding 15 more guys in May and 10 more guys in July and a few more after that. It's clear we're thin, but talented. I think we got some good players.
How's center looking for you?
Well, it been good till the news came today. Sunday Jacob pulled out on a screen, and it wasn't a nasty injury. He just fell, and he had worked himself into number 2. We were excited about that. Now we're back to square one. So we'll rep Rollerson there. We'll try to figure out who the next one is. We felt like we had a good second and third competition going on right there, but now we're back to square one. Matt Jones looks good. He's probably the surprise of spring.
Can you move Bosch there if you need to?
Yeah, he's too fat. He'd have a hard time getting that ball through his thighs. Matt Jones looks really good. I'm really, really happy with his progression, and we were really happy with Jacob. But now we're back to square one with trying to find out who a number 2 is.
Coach Gibson mentioned Giovanni Stewart really kind of jumped out at him, same name for us.
Yeah, he looks good. He's thick. I think he was a little lost last year as a freshman, which is very natural. Guys coming in, you try to get a few things out of them on special teams. The thing I noticed, he played on my brother's high school football team down in Texas. And what we noticed out of him was his knack of being around the ball a lot. Didn't see that a whole lot last year, but starting to see it a little bit more.
Running backs. You got a lot of them. Watching the guys today, they look pretty good. Pretty happy with them.
Yep, we got good competition. I wish we had that kind of competition at every one of the other positions because it makes that a lot more fun to watch. Crawford looks good. Kennedy McCoy looks good. Pettaway looks good. Kennedy's versatility has looked really good. Watching him in the slot looks really good. And then Tevin is as good as advertised. He's very versatile as well. You can hand it to him, but he's a natural pass catcher. So his route running is much better than I thought it would be at this point. We're so thin at receiver. I mean, it's sickening. Marcus Sims is out with the concussion. He'll be out for a little while, but we got guys that I don't know their names out there running routes. We're so thin. We need more numbers at receiver. So we have to make up by having Tevin and Kennedy and Wesco and Eli be receivers, when the time comes for that. But yeah, the competition's good at that spot. I wish we had it everywhere.
Do you like having to be this resourceful in the spring? I mean, I know you're not 12 now. Is that?
It doesn't hurt anything. I mean, you're probably every spring you're going to rep guys that aren't going to get a whole lot of snaps in the fall. That's everywhere. I mean, that's everywhere. You can't get too bent out of shape about repping some guys that aren't going to play. You just got to kind of piece it together to where you're getting the totality of the reps. Quarterbacks are snapping the ball. They're communicating in the huddle. Been happy with our O-line as far as just being physical and holding up and getting a lot of reps at that point. Grant's looked decent. We got a certain amount of snaps we know what we got to get to be able to gather the cut-ups and all that good stuff, and we're on our way towards getting that done.
With Jake working with quarterbacks, you're a little bit more free to move around.
I'm a weather guy.
Yeah. So what do you do?
I say, look, now we're good. This hit right at time, right on time. I mean, right about the time 4:30, these guys start running out of here. I figured this thing was going to break up. Y'all need a weatherman. I'm free. I got more time.
So, but do you?
And I coach those guys out there now.
Yeah.
Those
But
kickers.
you
and
visit
stuff.
other positions, working maybe more than you have in the past.
Yeah, I run around. I'm a referee. I'm a special teams coach. I'm a weatherman. I'm a caddy on the golf cart. And get recruits and throw them in the back and run them around and talk to them a little bit when they're here. That's what I do. Referees, that's fun. and mediator.
Would you scream at yourself if you were a referee and you were on the sideline?
No, I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't want to get thrown out of the game. I know the new rules. So I'm practicing putting myself in their shoes. Right?
Have you, since the last time that you had him on your staff, the strides that you've seen in Jake and his growth, that now you can walk around and be a weatherman and a ref, and he'll take over the offense?
Yeah, I knew he was headed there. I didn't want to lose him when I lost him, but it made a lot of sense for him to go call the plays at A&M. 2 years after that, coaching against him when he beat us in the bowl game, I thought their offensive staff was in disarray at that point, and he took it over and they played well on offense. So that grabbed my attention, and then transitioning to another staff and taking a group that had lost a lot. Thought he did well with that as well. So just been following him. I knew he'd be ready, and just thought this was kind of the time that made sense to be able to get somebody in here that could give us some help and allow me to do some different things.
Another guy who's back, David Sills, he says he's been working inside a good bit. How you've seen him, just step right in as a guy who's familiar with, obviously, campus and the team itself.
He's a starting quarterback mentality in the receiver room. He brings a lot of football knowledge and familiarity with what we're doing. He's happy to be back. He's doing well. He had a little bit of a pulled hamstring for a couple of days, so hopefully, he's dressed out today. Hopefully we get a lot more out of him. But his presence in the huddle is really good. I mean, Will brings a lot to the presence aspect of being in the huddle, leadership-wise, and confidence in having David right next to him is, increases the leadership aspect of what that huddle is. Losing Skyler, losing Tyler, lost some pretty strong personalities. I think we're replacing them with some strong personalities as well.